Crackheads podcast with myself, Kegs.
And me, Shannon.
So this is a podcast for the gals and for the gays, and Franny was up for a bit of crack.
Yeah, think of this as your crazy group chat with your very dysfunctional big brother and big sister.
So yeah, if you are a listener every single week, welcome back. We love you. Thanks for joining us. And if you're a new listener, then welcome.
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 We were just laughing before this. Like, the time just flies. We haven't seen each other in 2 weeks and it feels like it was like 3 days ago.
3 days ago.
But you have been a busy guy. To be fair, I've been busy, but nowhere near as busy as you. Can I just say also, we've switched sides this week and it's making me so uncomfortable that I'm on my bad side. And not only that, as the weeks have went on, I started this podcast in full glam.
Yeah.
I am currently sat for audio only listeners. You can't see me right now, but for anyone watching, you will see I currently have a hair mask in my head. No makeup on. I'm as white as a ghost, but I'm going home for a pamper night tonight, so it's fine.
Okay, it's needed.
Yeah.
I need a pamper.
It's needed, thanks.
As in, it's needed for me as well. I mean, because
Yeah.
I have been on a bit of a crazy week. I have broken out like a million spots, and this is my good side as well. But Shannon always takes the leading. She dictates the way. She always gets the good side. I'm like, whatever, it's fine. But this week I've got like loads of freaking, my face is just like blah, from all alcohol.
I was going to say it's the badness coming out of you.
It's all the badness. Like, I've been a bad boy this week.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this week, because I've just came back from Dublin Pride, and it is the end of Pride month. Like, June is like the main Pride month, but Pride for me is all year long, every single day of the year. But then obviously throughout the summer there's loads of other Pride events, like Belfast Pride is at the end of July. So I thought we'd do a little Pride episode. So I'll fill you in on all my crack from the week from Pride. Shannon will fill you in on all her crack, and then we'll get stuck into sexuality and pride and all that there sort of stuff, you know.
Yeah.
So I just want to say a massive big thank you to the Green East, who sponsors this week's episode. And every single week you'll notice the plants in this room are just incredible. We've got them all over the place, and it's Green East who provides the goods.
It just brings such a homely feel to our little podcast setup, and they're actually based here in East Belfast in the Banana Block where we video our podcast, and they're an indoor plant consultancy service that helps you find the perfect plants for your space. They help to bring nature into your office, restaurant or home with expertly selected plants. Make a statement, immerse yourself in an indoor jungle, or create a tranquil green space. Let the Green East source the right plants for you.
I'm going to get some of these for my new gaff.
Yeah, they look
Move
so
them all
well.
in.
To be fair, we're so lucky that they're here in the Banana Block with us and they're able to set up our podcast studio like this every week. I love it.
I know our wee podcast setup would be so bland without them. Like,
Yeah.
But yeah, if you want to find the Green East on Instagram, it's at the Green East, and you can find more information on the website, which is thegreeneast.co.uk. So yeah, thank you so much, the Green East. We love you.
We love you.
Yeah, I want to hear your crack from the week first.
Okay, so it's actually been 2 weeks, and you know what my memory's like? I can't remember what happened 2 weeks ago,
Yeah,
but I could go back to like a week ago, I suppose.
I'm the same. I'm going to do this week. Just I can't remember 2 weeks ago either.
We could do that. We'll even just start. Myself and my mum, we went to Shania Twain on Thursday.
Right.
It was so fun. Shania Twain, have you seen Shania Twain?
No.
Shania Twain's 59.
Is she?
That woman, was it 59 or 69?
I think she's older than
Maybe
that.
it was 69.
She's definitely
so
older.
basically, we were there and I was
I'm
like,
gonna look it
holy shit, she is incredible looking. And she was like bopping about the stage. She was slut dropping, dancing, singing live the whole time.
58.
58.
Yeah.
58.
58.
Like, she genuinely looks like my age. Unreal.
Unreal. I kind of no. So I never went to Shania Twain, but I never really was that into her. I didn't mind her songs, but I ended up going back with this guy once in Sydney, and he just like played Shania Twain all night.
Such
but then
a queen.
he was playing it whilst trauma dumping, so it kind of gave me the ick for her because he was such a fan, and I was just like, never really listened to her since.
No, she's such a queen. Did have a little issue at it. I actually posted on TikTok about it because it really, really annoyed me. I posted on all my socials about it. Love Belsonic. I love everything that Belsonic bring to Belfast, and I will continue to go. But I think there needs to be a change made.
Yeah.
To be fair, if there isn't a change made, it would stop me going. But yeah, it was myself and my mum, and as an able-bodied person, I feel very ignorant because I never noticed this before. But I was there with my mum, who does have a disability, has a blue badge, everything, and she needed to go to the toilet. And when she needs to go to the toilet, she needs to go. Then and there. The queues were crazy. I asked for a disabled toilet and was pointed at one toilet with a queue of about 30 to 40 people.
Shop and one toilet.
One toilet.
And they're all for all disabled people.
Yeah.
That's
and
hectic.
I even asked, could she go into the VIP section? Was told no, not happening. when she was in the queue, there was ladies there with colostomy bags that were bursting.
Shut up.
Like the bags in their stomach.
Yeah.
Because they couldn't get to the toilet. And when I posted about it the next day, there was a girl from Belsonic messaged me. She asked to be kept anonymous because it's her place of work, saying that I was lied to, that there was more disabled toilets, but they stopped letting people go to them, and the toilet that we were being directed to as a disabled toilet was actually the gender neutral toilet.
What?
So
hectic.
that really bothered me. Like, I just think in this day and age and the amount of money that Belsonic are making at them shows, there is no excuse not to have like adequate toilets for everyone.
If there's 30 disabled people in a queue for one toilet, they 100% need to have more toilets. Like, that's a joke.
And then I had a lot of people messaging being like, yeah, you had to apply for an accessible ticket beforehand, but my mum's mobility's okay. It's not okay, but she can get by at a concert. She doesn't need an accessible ticket. She doesn't need to take that away from like a wheelchair user or someone that actually needs that.
Yeah.
And they were saying you should apply beforehand, but I'm like, in this day and age, you should not be making it awkward or more difficult for someone just to be able to use the toilet and go to a concert and be comfortable. Like, everyone should be able to go and feel comfortable without like jumping hoops. Do you know what I mean? So that really annoyed me. But yeah, then I went to bed Nikki as well, which was also Belsonic. It was very good, very young, very young.
I knew it was gonna be young.
I feel like everyone I spoke to, everyone was so lovely, but everyone I spoke to, I found myself being like, behave yourself. I was like, I was like such a wee mummy. Like, everyone that came up to me, I just felt like, you're so young.
Yeah.
I could just see my little sister in them, and I was like, please behave yourself, get home safe. I was such a little mum.
And then my wee brother was there with all his friends, and I'm like, oh my god, these are children. Like,
it's crazy.
Like, but then we were doing it at that age as well.
See, I wasn't though. I didn't. I was
16?
No.
Oh
I was
God.
such a goody two shoes.
No, it wasn't Belsonic back then. I don't think it was Tenants Vital.
Tenants Vital, but I would have been. I'm older than you, so I would have been like 18 when all that was on.
Okay,
do you know what I mean? Yeah, went to that. So good. Got home at like, I don't know, 1 o'clock in the morning, and had to get up at 6 to go to Dublin to go to the horse racing down there. Such a good day. It was with my boyfriend's family. I was going to say pretty chill. It wasn't chill. It was not chill. It was actually amazing crack. Like, his family are just. Oh,
was it like fancy horse racing, like dressing up?
Yeah, proper like ladies' day, all dressed.
Did you win
fancy.
anything?
I give myself a limit. I was like, the maximum you're allowed to spend on bets today is £50. I'm not a bettor. I'm not a gambler.
Yeah.
So I was like, 50 quid. And I came home with 12. So as in, no, I ended up with like 62 in my account.
Okay, yeah.
So like, I won my money back and £12.
Oh, that's good.
So it wasn't too bad. So maybe I'm a gambler. No, I'm joking.
That'll buy you like one drink in Dublin.
Yeah, I don't even know what the prices were like. I honestly, because we were doing rounds, we like put money in for a kiddie or whatever. So I couldn't even tell you what the price of drink was.
I looked at my bank this morning and I was like, I have spent like too much money on alcohol in Dublin. Like, it's literally so expensive.
Pricey.
It's so expensive. It's a joke. Even going into the shop though, like I went in the shop and bought a bottle of water and a chewing gum, and it was like 6 quid.
What?
I know, chewing gum and a bottle of water. I was like, what the fuck? It's so spendy
what?
here.
I could not live in Dublin for that reason.
It's expensive.
And then had a pretty chill couple of days, the last few days down at my boyfriend's house. He was off work. Oh my goodness, you didn't see this. Maybe you didn't. This really annoyed me. You know, I am the most cross-community friendly person ever.
Yeah.
You know this about me. Like, I feel like
I actually had a conversation with Nevo about this at the festival.
About how cross-community I am. I do not give a shit who anyone is. I will never get offended by what other people's opinions are, and I am happy to listen to other people's opinions. Even if I don't agree with things, I'm just like, yeah, like I can see where you're coming from. So my boyfriend's, this is where I didn't even tell this part because I was like, I shouldn't have to, but my boyfriend's family business is a pallets company.
Right.
I've maybe told this before, like pallets that they build bonfires with.
Okay. Oh, right. Okay.
Like,
your boyfriend's family?
Yeah, but that's not what they're for. But like, they're for like college and stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Your boyfriend's just businesses providing the goods for the 12th of July. It's the 12th of July or 4th of July?
The 11th is the bonfire.
11th, okay.
But his company's like college. So like, he has like a fascination with pallets just because like that's the family business.
Yeah.
So the biggest like ever bonfire, whatever, is in Larne. The world record attempt and everything. But the last few years, they like, people obviously maybe don't know this, but they have made a conscious effort to make this for everyone. They don't burn tricolours. They don't burn them. They don't put like horrible things on the bonfires or anything, the way a lot of places do, that I don't agree with, even though I come from a Protestant background. I don't agree with it. But my boyfriend was like to me yesterday, he was like, I want to go and see this bonfire in real life because apparently photos don't do it justice.
Is it bonfire or bonfire?
So he calls it bonfire, but my community would say bonfire.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never heard that before.
The Boney.
What?
Yeah. So we went down to Larne for him to see this, and I posted a photo on my story. And like the only thing that's on this bonfire is a literal sign saying that any money raised through donations to the bonfire is going to charity. I think someone actually messaged me to tell me it's like the family of a little girl that got knocked down or something.
Right, okay,
That's the only thing displayed on that bonfire. And as soon as I posted it, the amount of abusive messages I got saying that it was disgusting that I would post this, it is vile, blah, blah, blah. And I was like to Kieran, hold on a second here. There is nothing disgusting on that. I get that people are like, but it's what it stands for. At the same time,
I don't even know what it stands for.
It's just it's being Protestant and being part of Britain and blah blah blah.
Right,
and
okay.
yes, that can be, some Catholics might find that offensive, but my thing is that is still part of the Protestant community. You should still be able to look at something and be like, I don't agree with it, but that's their thing, let them have it. Mm-hmm. The same way, this is where I said to Kieran, I have posted literal videos of me in bars, like Irish bars, with IRA songs in the background, and no one has ever messaged me to say I was doing something wrong. So how do you get what I mean?
Yeah,
That's what annoyed me so much, because it was like, oh, so if I post stuff like supporting the other side that isn't the other side, that isn't my side, no one seems to have an issue.
Yeah.
But yet I post a bonfire with nothing disgusting on it, and I'm being told it's disgusting and so hurtful and blah blah blah. So then I did put, my boyfriend was like, well, he hates drama, he doesn't even have social media anymore, he's deleted
Has he?
he's deleted it all off his phone apart from Snapchat.
Oh my God,
and
that's
he
a
was
good shout.
like he's like, just delete it to see if anyone, and I was like, no. I was like, why should I?
Yeah.
So I posted a video saying like, this is why the country will never move on, because if you can't accept that people are going to have different opinions than you, that's the only way we'll move forward. You can look at something and be like, I don't like a bonfire and I don't agree with what it stands for.
Yeah.
But you can just look at someone and be like, yeah, you can have that. It's not for me, but it could be for you. That's what's holding the country back, I've come to realise.
Yeah, I think everyone just needs to come together as one.
Yeah, you can agree to disagree. Do you know what I mean? But that really infuriated me, especially the fact that, because someone then wrote to me being like, even because then whenever I posted that saying it has nothing disgusting on it, blah blah blah, they were like, yeah, but on the 11th night they will put a flag up. And it's like, no, educate yourself. Click on the place that I tag, Craic Hill Bonfire, and they literally say they are doing this for everyone, so that everyone can be involved and there's no hate in it. Because people are like, getting involved in the Fela. I've been to the Fela every year, to the Wolf Tones. Do you know what I mean? I've been. I can go to two different sides and not have an issue. It really, really annoyed me.
Yeah, that's triggering for you for sure, especially considering there's literally like no hateful things on that one, if that makes sense. Like, I think that's, people should be triggered maybe if there was, but
yeah, I think people forget as well, I come from a Protestant background. There's a bonfire in my back garden. Do you know what I mean?
Is there?
Yeah, literally out the back of where I live. Yeah.
Alright, I thought you meant literally in your garden.
No,
I was
like out the back of where my
Shannon's
house
going out
is.
in the morning stacking the pallets from Kieran's business.
No.
Kieran, bring us some home this evening, will you?
But definitely, I think people forget, like, I do, although I am very cross community and I accept all communities, I do come from that background, so you can't act shocked if I post an innocent photo of a bonfire with nothing derogatory or bad on it. Yeah, wasn't too happy about that yesterday, I have to say.
Yes, and you were triggered.
But so many people from the Catholic community wrote to me saying like, this is wild that people react like this, like, and I get, obviously not everyone in the Catholic community is like that. It is the minority.
100% minority, yeah.
Yeah, that was annoying. But yeah, apart from that, all good.
All good.
Right.
God.
Tell us it. Come on, give it to us, Kegs.
I don't know where to start. There's so much different things that happen throughout the week. Right, so I basically was in Dublin. For anyone who doesn't know, I was down in Dublin for over a week there. I was down working with a few different brands. I got some really exciting opportunities, which I'm buzzing about, because I think coming home from Thailand, I was manifesting in my head. I was like, I really want to work with like brands to do with like the LGBTQ community and blah blah blah, like that sort of thing. So I feel like I was manifesting for so long, and whenever I was experiencing it, I was like, oh my god, younger Kegs will be proud of me right now. It was nice. But yeah, some mad stuff, a few mad stories, so I think I might just fill you in on all the crack, because I always do overshare. So I wrote it down on my phone just to get it right. And right, actually something mad happened, and it is very spiritual, and I know what you're like. So
I think I know what you're going to say. I think I seen this in your story.
Pink car.
Yeah, I was pissing, and especially the fact that then I recognised the car as being from that dress place, so then I knew exactly. And I just think it's so, you'll hear the story in a second, guys, everyone listening, but I think it's so funny that you are so like not aware of how to drive because you've not driven so long that you went that far off the road before you realised you were going the wrong way. Right, anyway, tell the story.
But it literally was so off the road, right? So this is a very woo-woo story, and if you don't believe in spirituality or anything, then listen to this because it's fucking real. I'm joking. Well, ish. I said that'll be a story. I was like, people are going to think I'm crazy, but it's fine. So basically, long story short, you might have heard me speak about this before in the TikTok or whatever, but a couple of years ago I had a few experiences that were very like spiritual and a little bit scary, and I was told to call in Archangel Michael to protect me and to keep me safe.
And where's Archangel? Because I'm sure there'll be listeners as well confused by this. Who the fuck's Archangel Michael? Who is he? Who is he? Is it a book? Does it come from a book? Is it like the Bible but a spiritual thing?
I think it's spiritual, but it could be from a religion as well. But I think so for me it's just this like,
it's a figure.
I don't know. I think so. I just call him in.
See, this is why I think I couldn't get involved in spirituality, because you know what I'm like. I ask too many questions. Yeah. So you've probably just been told, ask this spirit in, where I'd be like, who is he? Yeah. Where's he come from?
So obviously this is like kind of proof to me that it definitely is. I know I've had experience in the past that has proved that he is like protects me, because I felt his energy. So I'm very sensitive energy, and I've called him in before when I've been really scared, and I felt like a cloth wrapped around me of like protection. I felt so safe. But anyways, I always call him in anyway. Anytime I want to do something like that's maybe a bit scary or I feel a bit anxious in situations, say even going to nightclubs, I would call him in for protection and things like that. So I hop into the car. As you all know, I've recently just got a car and I haven't been driving in such a long time, and it was my first time ever driving to Dublin. So I get in the car, I call in Archangel Michael for protection, and I'm still driving, still feeling anxious, still feeling a bit scared, and I'm literally on the motorway up to from wherever on the motorway.
You were passing Uri. I can tell you where you were.
So yeah, it was before Uri, I think. Yeah. And I was literally there, and I just goes, Archangel Michael, I trust you, but like for a little bit of reassurance, I want you to show me a pink car. And like you never fucking
like
see,
how random.
You never see fucking pink cars ever, right? Do you? So I was like, I want to see a pink car, and I'm not even joking. Within like a couple of seconds, the maps on my sat nav immediately changes in front of my eyes to take the next left off the motorway, and I was like, what the fuck? So I had to literally swerve my car to get this next left. I was like, where is this going? Because in my head you must get like a straight road the whole way to Dublin. So yeah, I'm on these back roads, and then I'm like, oh my god, I was here the other day on like a date. I was in Uri the other day for a date. I recognise this place. Like, what the hell's going on? So I'm literally driving through Newry, and then we're on like this big roundabout, and the signs are saying to go off for Dublin on the actual big signs, but the maps is still taking me another back road, and I'm like, where the fuck is maps going? I'm like, what is going on right now? So I'm driving, and then I start thinking, I'm like, I wonder would it be something to do with what I said a minute ago? So I'm driving anyway, and then I just sort of forget about it. I'm like, right, it's just taking me on to like the Dublin way or whatever. There must be like a traffic jam, there must be an accident, it must have directed me anyway. And then I'm driving, and I'm just like, oh my fucking god, I had goosebumps all over my body. I pulled my car into the side of the road. I just stopped, and I had goosebumps ever. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it was the Rosie's Closet.
Closet.
Yeah, because I know where my sister got a dress there for a formal before, so I know where it is. Like, it's you come off the slip road. Yeah. But like, to go to Dublin, you would never go on that road.
Ever would so never bring. Isn't that crazy though? And I put it up, and the amount of people messaged me, and I was like, you would never have ended up there. Like, big ups Archangel Michael. If you're listening, Archangel Michael, I love you. Kept me safe. So
if you're real, show me a sign where you're from.
So I've had another crazy experience in the past. Might say it? Should I say it? No, I'm not going to say it because it's a little bit too woo-woo, and I don't like sharing all that my spirituality stuff.
We'll not go too woo-woo. I'll have too many questions for you, and then I'll ruin it for you.
Yeah, I usually keep that stuff to myself and share it to my really spiritual friends, because I might scare people off. I do speak about some of it, but that's something I like to keep to myself, that way. So yeah, got down anyway, checked into my hotel. It wasn't a hostel, it was a hotel / student accommodation called Yugo. Yeah. And it's like a student accommodation that you rent out for the summer. It's such a reasonable price.
I've seen loads of places doing that.
It's literally like 15-minute walk into town. It's super handy, so nice. And I was like, oh my god, this is class. And they put me up for a week. I was like, fucking thank you so much. Sorted me out for Pride. Went to Troysavan. Troysavan was class. Was a little bit steaming. Ended up partying that night. Don't think I've got much stories from Troy. No, No. Next couple of days was just doing bits and pieces. Met up with my friends. I went on a date actually. Oh my god, yeah, I went on a date with this guy.
The older guy.
Yeah. It was good crack, to be fair. He was telling me some funny stories. He actually told me a story I posted on my TikTok. Did you see
this
it?
About one of the girls in the office was on Grindr just to like get like a sexual kick of talking to men. I actually felt kind of sorry for him when you told this story. So like basically Kegs put on his private story, was it, or public story? I can't remember.
It was my TikTok.
Public story, TikTok about obviously a gay man.
Will I tell the story?
Yeah, go for it.
You tell me your thoughts.
Yeah.
So basically, I was on a date with this guy. He was telling me some mad stories. He told me a story. He kept saying things that he'd done that made him sound like a bit of a dick. And I was like, what? Because he was telling me he was in a restaurant with his friend one time, and his friend was pissing him off. So he went up to the waiter, who wasn't from Ireland, and was like, here, my friend's like heavily pregnant, but no one ever compliments her bump because she's really getting upset that no one has ever mentioned her bump to her before. Would you go up to her and say like you love her big bump and like when she due and all this here? So this waiter, God love him, comes down to his friend and he's like, oh my god, I love your bump, like it's so big, blah blah blah, when's your baby born? I was here. And she just looked at him. She was no more pregnant. He done that to his friend.
He has issues. He's tried to put someone down, make someone feel shit to get a kick out of that.
I know. He kept saying ridiculous things, to be fair, but I actually
delete him from any form of contact.
I haven't spoke to him after that, to be fair, but I enjoyed his crack at times. But then he was telling me a story about his in work. So his boss is a gay man and his boss is older. There's no other gay men in the office. He's surrounded by loads of girls in the office. He'll work like a corporate job, and he basically tells the girls in work that he knows when the boss is near the office because he can see how far away he is on Grindr. And what the girl beside him, either, I don't know if she downloaded Grindr, I think she downloaded Grindr after that to see where the boss is, but because she downloaded it to see where the boss is, she sort of got sucked in. So she had a fake profile, but then she started playing about with it. So she started messaging all the guys for the crack on Grindr, like these gay guys, and this is a 40-year-old woman in her 40s. And then she gets a bit more into it and she changes all her like her bio to like all these like dirty things that the fake guy that she's pretending to be is into and all this here. So then my guy I'm on a date with is in work one day. Here's the Grindr notification go off and he's like, who the fuck was that? The boss is not here, like someone's on Grindr. And he says to the girl beside him, like, are you on Grindr? She's like, no, I'm not on, blah blah. He's like, show me your phone. He looks at his phone and she's messaging loads of boys, and she's like, no, it's literally an addiction, it's like Candy Crush, like it's so much fun. And she'd be just lying in bed beside her husband, like texting all these boys on fucking Grindr.
I just think that's like she's trying to fill a void.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know this lady, but like I don't know.
It does sound like that.
Especially if she's a husband.
Yeah.
Surely he should be fulfilling them needs.
Yeah.
That you should not need to be like getting attention elsewhere.
Yeah, maybe she's got like a bit of a few wee fetishes and she's like playing into them and fake people on Grindr.
Or just even the attention maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know, I feel sorry for her.
Yeah, I never really thought about it in that way because he was just telling me a story.
I know you don't though, you know what I'm like. I go straight for like, what's wrong with that person?
Yeah, true. But then one day in work she was like, wait, do you see this for the crack? So she had messaged the boss off the fake account with all these dirty fetishes in her bio, and the boss is like 10 feet away, but obviously she hasn't clocked on that the distance is there. So the guy beside her is like, you're a fucking dick, the boss is literally going to think that is me messaging him on Grindr because he's the only other gay guy in the frickin' office.
Oh yeah. Oh,
so she's like, what the hell? But I thought that was a funny story from the date.
Yeah.
But yeah, I haven't spoken to him since, to be fair.
Good.
It was hot. I did kiss him,
Red
but
flag.
Didn't do anything else. I was like, kiss, goodbye, see you later.
See ya.
Then I just had like Pride weekend, so I went to the Brazilian block party, became friends with loads of the Dublin guys that I have on Instagram.
I have a question. Did you go out wearing a jockstrap?
That's for close friends. Shannon.
Did you actually go out like that though?
What? Like,
did you go out in
just
public?
Wearing that?
Yeah.
I had like shorts over the top.
Oh, that's okay.
Did you think I went out just wearing that with my entire bumhole out? Walking around the streets of Dublin with all the kids in the Be Perfect float?
I swear. Because then I seen photos of you later with clothes on and I was like, maybe you just wear that to like one thing. I showed Kieran and I was like, look at the confidence in that. The whole arse.
What did Kieran say?
I think Kieran knows the guy you rented off.
Oh, Connor. Yeah, Connor.
Yeah, Kieran would know him.
Purely name dropping him on the phone.
Yeah, Kieran would know him. And Kieran was like, fuck, go on ahead. And then I seen photos, I was like, I didn't even tell Kieran that you didn't. I wasn't sure if you were.
That would be for like, that would be for someone if someone got my shorts off.
Oh, right, okay. I thought, I don't know, but like then when I showed Kieran wasn't that shocked because he obviously.
Yeah, no, but there is parties where people would wear just stuff like that.
Not only that, Kieran was in Sydney for Sydney World Pride and he went to Mardi Gras. So he was like to me, Shannon, That was nothing. He was like, when I went to Mardi Gras, there was people naked getting walked down the street with dog legs.
Aye, there is. The gay world is fucking crazy, girl.
So he was not shocked by the jockstrap.
There is, the gay world is crazy, but no, I didn't wear that in public in Dublin, no harm. And my mum, imagine my mum seeing me doing that, walking around Dublin, she'd be like, fucking hell, get you home now, you're grounded. Me, a 27-year-old man nearly. But I know I'd love us for underneath my shorts. Yeah. But did anyone get to see them? Yeah, if a few people got to see them. But yeah, we'll get to that. No, there wasn't a few people got to see them. There was one. 2, maybe, I don't know. I don't know. Why am I freaking getting nervous? I feel like I overshare too much. Right, okay. Anyways, went to the Brazilian block party. There was me and literally like 5 other Irish guys and loads of Brazilians, because Brazilians have taken over Dublin, so they made a special pride party for the Brazilians. So it was good crack. Was there that night. The whole weekend's a bit of a blur. Oh no, that night, right, so this is a funny story. Me and, you know the way I was with Dara Green, so Dara was on the podcast before. He ended up being like my +1 all weekend for like all the events, and we ended up out after the Brazilian block party in the George, and as per usual, just kissing freaking everyone that is good looking. Like, it was so bad. I don't even know how many people I kissed this weekend. I was going through my recent Instagram following list, and I was like, how many people did I kiss? I don't even know. It was so bad. And he stopped oversharing.
Get a kiss and get a follow.
Yeah, a few people like that. But anyways, me and my friend Dara pulls this guy, and then the guy he's kissing is like, oh, I can't go home with you because my friend is here. And then just so happens I'm kissing the freaking friend. And me and Dara are like in the same building anyway. So we bring the 2 guys back to her, like a place we're staying. We have a little bit of a party with them. And then one thing leads to another. My guy goes with me to my room, and Dara's boy goes to him with his room, right? So that's grand. Whatever happens. And then we go to Pride then the next day. And at Pride the next day, I bump into... 2 days later, we were at Longitude, and I bump into my guy's friend who knows him. And I know him as well. And the friend basically was like, yeah, I heard about you and my friend. And I was like, what? Why was wrong? The 2 guys who we thought were best friends are actually seeing each other. So one of them came back with Dara.
Doesn't shock me from things you've told me. Doesn't shock me.
They came together, and we just assumed they were friends. They did not seem like they were seeing each other at all. One of them went with me, one of them went with Dara, and then we found out they're fucking seeing each other, and they came together. I was like, wait, what? So funny.
I could never. But from things you've told me, that is, and from what you've told the podcast, that is pretty common in the gay world.
So yeah, that was funny. Then woke up the next day, still a bit tipsy, went to Be Perfect Pride Parade. So fun. It was pissing down in rain. We didn't care. We were having a good crack anyway. I love doing the parades. Like, hopefully they're doing one for the Belfast one. I think they probably would be. I'm not sure. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Be Perfect Parade, drink it all day, get to Mother Block Party with Durex, and I am there, and I'm fucking locked. And I'm literally like being videoed, interviewed, absolutely steaming, falling about the place, talking about all sorts. I'm like, I'm so nervous to see these videos, but it's good crack. I met some class people. Like, the Pride Party was so fun. Oh my god, yeah. Another funny story. So I end up getting with this guy in the George who looked like Paul Mescal. I seen him, I was like, oh my god, he's literally double with Paul Mescal. And Dara was like, go talk to him. I went over and talked to him, and we actually had matched on Tinder before, but I didn't clock on. Turns out, so then on the day of Pride, we end up getting each other like most of the day, and we go to the after party together and stuff. Turns out he has the exact same name as me and the exact same birthday as me. Isn't that fucking nuts? Like,
how long did it take you to catch on? You said the same name.
Same name straight away.
That's okay.
Same name straight away. But it was the same birthday. Found that out 2 days later. But like, when the my name is Cahir. When the fuck do you ever meet another Cahir? For starters, I've never kissed another Cahir in my life. Don't even think I've kissed someone who has the same birthday as me. Never out both of us. I was like, what the fuck? And because of his synchronicities, and you know how spiritual I am, and like star signs and all, I'm like,
is that not a no-go?
Oh, I'm like, fucking, this is my husband.
Oh, really? I thought like if things were like the same, it was a no-go.
It might be. I don't know. But
don't take that. I haven't a fucking clue. I just assumed
it might be actually. I don't know. I actually need to look into that. But I think it was just because it was such a synchronicity. I think I became like a wee bit like, I was also steaming. It's very steaming. I actually woke up the next day with a fear because I was the drunkest man in Dublin that night.
I've just sat here the whole time realising I have a vape sitting beside me.
What?
I have a vape sitting beside me just for the podcast. And obviously I've stopped vaping, and I'm like, I always heard of Kegs as well. I'm like, I've stopped vaping, and I'm perched with the vape beside me. But that is one I've just found in my car from the weekend, because sometimes I have a little sneaky one if I'm drinking.
I drink. I vape.
That was me caught out of wonder there, because I'm the one shouting at Kegs. Now I'm sitting the whole podcast with a vape beside my leg.
Oh, camera as well. Caught out. She's fucking caught out. She's a fucking vapor, guys.
I'm
It's
not
fine.
really, to be fair.
No,
Someone actually commented on my TikTok the other day. How funny is this, right? It was like 2 days after Ibiza. We all know the way I came back from Ibiza, I had no voice. It is still not fully recovered. Like,
Yeah.
I can speak, but if I try to sing, it doesn't work, which I learned at the horse racing because
Yeah.
there was like an after party thing. But obviously I haven't gave my body a proper amount of recovery. Like, when you come back from Ibiza, you will know, like, you need like at least a week with no alcohol. I've came back and then went straight to like concerts and the horse racing and whatever. So, and then obviously when I have a wee drink, I have a wee vape, and the voice still isn't fully healed. But someone commented on my TikTok, "Hey Shannon, love you, please don't take offense to this, but I've just noticed your voice sounds a bit strange, and I would maybe go to your doctor and get it checked out."
Oh God.
I was like, "Hi honey, thank you for the concern, but I actually am not long back from my Ibiza and I just lost my voice and haven't let it recovered fully, but thank you."
Oh my God.
I was like, is it that bad? Me thinking it's not that bad. Now I'm talking and listening to myself, I'm like, I can hear the
Yeah, I can hear a wee bit.
it's like a little sexy
mine is a wee
husky.
bit
No,
as well.
it's not sexy at all. It's
Mine's a wee bit not normal either. But
Yeah.
it's fucking fine. We've been enjoying ourselves, you know what I mean? But yeah, that was Pride, I think. There's
It
feel like
sounds
there,
fun.
but it's all such a blur, and like it actually has given me the fear. Like I woke up with severe anxiety because I was so drunk. But you know what? I had fun.
it's Pride.
I had fun. Pride.
I think you'd be doing
yeah.
Pride wrong if you didn't wake up with anxiety.
And then we woke up the next day, and I was on the worst hangover ever, and we had to go to Longitude with Coca-Cola.
Oh yeah, that's what I was supposed to go to. Well, not supposed to. I was asked to, but
Yeah.
I never replied.
It was good crack. Like
Do you do this right? Question.
what?
Just random. I actually thought about this today and I was like, probably shouldn't do that. So say if I get like an email, or sometimes actually not so much email I'll reply and say sorry I'm not available or whatever.
Yeah.
But if I get a DM request, because obviously it goes into your requests, and it's something I'm not available for, I'll just not accept it.
Depends on what it is.
Me and Anna Olivia spoke about this before, and she was like, yeah, I just don't like reply to it if I know I'm not free. And then I'm like, I should probably just start replying. But then I feel
I
like
reply.
if I reply and say sorry I'm not available, then that'll become into my like request that I actually have work going on, and
Yeah.
then it'll get like muddled up that it's work and blah blah. So I just like blank it out, but then I realised it's probably a bit rude, so I should start.
Yeah, I always
replying.
reply just in case I need you again for anything else. Do you know what I mean? I always reply.
Yeah.
If it's something I'd be interested in, if it's not something I'm interested in, then I wouldn't reply. But do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, went to Longitude, Coca-Cola.
Fun.
Literally seen everyone who was on my Instagram
Here,
homepage.
what's your opinion? I'm just really random today. I feel like I'm a bit scatty because it was like trying to rush doing work before I came here. My brain's a bit like what's your opinion on Taylor Swift?
Not a Swiftie.
Me either.
Not a Swiftie at all. So she was in fucking Dublin all weekend, and the amount of people I met that went to Swiftie went to see her, and I realised you either are a Swiftie or you're not, and I'm not. I don't get it.
I don't get it.
I don't get it.
And it's no like hate towards people. That's one thing though. I've no like I would never make or shame people for like going all out and loving
People
it.
do, though.
Because I was like the biggest One Direction fan and Justin Bieber fan back in the day. I get
Yeah,
it.
but
I get
they're
the
good.
way music
Joking.
I get the way
Joking.
music can make you feel, and I
Yeah.
nose button it. I appreciate that, so I would never shame someone or like make fun of people about getting all excited and spending money
Yeah.
on it. By all means, go for it. I just don't get it. Like even Taylor Swift's music, I love like It's a Love Story.
Yeah, I don't
back in the
mind
day, love all the old shit. But her new music, like if it comes on the radio, I would like switch and look for a better
next
song.
Swipe. To be fair, there's like maybe one or two
Yeah,
where I've
there's a
not realised
couple.
it's her, and it's not bad.
Do you know what one I actually like? The one that's like meant to be like kind of like directed at Maddie from the 1975, but it's because it sounds like a 1975 song. Don't even
Really?
know what it's called. Comes on the radio, and I'm like, I actually like that one. But it's just not my kind of
Is
music.
it bad if she's like one of the only famous artists that would come on and I have to swipe to the next song?
Yeah, I don't get it.
I don't
and I
get-
think the thing is too, like Taylor Swift when we were younger, like she was like the wee horsey girl,
Yeah.
the wee country horsey girl. And then I kind of just, I don't know, that's still with me. But then maybe I'm just a bit old because I think a lot of the girls, I'm 28, a lot of the girls that seem to be like obsessed, like wee Billy McCormick is obsessed, and I seen her video and I actually loved watching it because I was like, oh, that's so cute. She was like, she's being with me through like all my ages of life and different, she remembers different albums coming out
God.
and blah blah blah. And I was like, but then I'm like fucking probably 5 or 6 years older than her.
Yeah,
do you know what I
true.
mean? So when she was like going through her first heartbreak, I was probably leaving my third job.
She's coming on the pod in 2 weeks.
Oh, is she? But yeah, I thought it was so. I think it's so cute, and I love that people love her.
She obviously is very fucking talented if she has that like
100%, and she's a very talented songwriter and
Yeah.
getting her emotions across and
Yeah.
blah blah blah.
Just not
I
for
don't
us.
know, but then I'm like a flipping raver, so
People, so am I though.
I'm probably not a
I'm
good
like,
judge
I love
of music.
Charlie XCX.
I love
fucking-
country music though, proper country.
Really? I'm
Love
not.
country.
Charlie XCX is my obsessed.
Love
That's
Charlie
all I
XCX.
listen to right now is Charlie XCX Brat because it's a fucking brat summer. I'm obsessed. But anyways, yeah. But even guys on dating apps in Dublin, their bios are literally like, if you're a Swiftie, do not speak to me. Like people are like
Oh, people are
dedicated.
extreme.
Dedicated to it, like, but I was, Longitude was a bit crazy. Met loads of people.
Who was that? The lineup of Longitude?
I literally just seen. So Shirley Murphy was actually singing, and
I seen videos
Shanice
of her,
Griffin was
gorge.
singing. So talented. I was kind of just with like all the influencers for ages, and then I just seen Doja Cat because we arrived late because I was hungover. Doja Cat, but I was looking around, right? So the only people I seen was literally like, I'm gonna say like 14-year-olds to 16-year-olds. It was so fucking young. And then it was just like, obviously the influencers were invited. I was chatting to all them, but then I was looking. They're all like 12, and Doja Cat is on the stage. You can literally see her fanny flaps and her tits and her nipples. I'm like, Doja Cat should have been playing a Pride, not fucking too Longitude with all the 12-year-olds. You know what I mean? It was a bit wild.
God, that's so
It
funny.
was a bit crazy. Like, she definitely is a wee bit possessed, I think, maybe a little bit.
That's so funny.
And then on Tuesday, I was invited as one of TikTok's LGBTQ plus creators to come into their headquarters.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I was honestly buzzing about it, to be honest, but their offices and everything's just incredible.
So cool.
Like, so
I've
fucking
never
cool.
been to the one in Dublin, but I've been to the TikTok in Sydney.
Oh yeah, Cindy's class as well. But yeah, we're just talking about dealing with hate as an LGBTQ plus creator. So yeah, it was very informative. I feel like I learned quite a lot. And yeah, then
That's one thing I'll give TikTok though. Out of all platforms, they probably do better than a lot of platforms when it comes to like, what's the word, when it like filtering hate comments.
Yeah.
Like, you know, the way it goes into, you have to like accept them and stuff.
Yeah.
If they, sometimes I read it and I'm like, oh, they've maybe just said like Lamo and they're actually laughing at a video and you're like, okay, accept it. But a lot of like bad comments I would get do end up like being filtered that I have to accept them.
Yeah.
So they are pretty good.
So
that
this is
way.
why they got us in, because they want to implement new tools to protect creators from
creators.
hate.
Very
and so
good.
they're asking us loads of questions about what we think TikTok could do to help, and they had people flown in from like Singapore and America and things like that.
Very good.
So it was really, really good. And I think they're definitely trying their best to like help creators not get like as much hate and stuff like that. And I asked them a question because I was like, why do they not just do this thing where they have to get everyone to show their identity, to show their passport. So like to like everyone has to take accountability for their actions.
Like when you open a bank account.
Yeah, like why don't they do that? And the reasoning behind it actually made sense.
Oh, what is it? I would love to know this.
It was because there may be people who like may not want to reveal their identity in terms of like they might not know their identity yet. As in like maybe people who are discovering themselves and maybe like the LGBTQ plus community. And I kind of got where they were coming from in that sense. Like you might want to come on this app and might not.
But then could you not, this is where my thing would be to TikTok, could you not even say you don't have to have your name visible, but your account still needs to have ID?
So this is what I thought afterwards, and I was like raging I didn't say it because I
Yeah,
thought the exact
because you're like,
thought.
okay, you don't want to put your real name or whatever, but should it come to, say for example, you were giving someone a lot of hate and you were bullying someone, and then TikTok could look at reports of that and go, okay, well this is who that person is, we have their details, we don't need to make it public, but they are now blocked from having an account, and then they can't make like other hate accounts. That would be like the dream.
I had that thought afterwards, but they have implemented things where like if you get like strikes as being a hater, your account will be flagged up as being a hater and you'll not be allowed to comment on things and things like that. And all your new accounts that you make be linked to that one and stuff like that. So there is things out there that
they're working on it. Very good.
But, done that. And there was one thing I wanted to mention, right, about some guy was like angry with me on one of the nights out. And it was basically because I asked him what his name was, and he said that I've met him on nights out before and I already asked him his name. But my thing is, right, firstly I have ADHD, so I would forget people's names. If you're out of sight, you're out of mind. If I haven't spent a significant amount of time with you recent times, I will forget your name. I even forget people who I'm friends with from their years ago. Like I would have to like go and try and like search through Instagram to try and find someone I'm friends with name, because names just go out of my head very easily. especially if you've met me on a drunk night out. If I've met you on a drunk night out, there is a good chance I'll never remember you again unless like we spent a lot of time together. So this guy was really angry with me for not remembering his name. I was like, mate, I go out a lot. I go out to parties. I be invited to things. I meet so many different types of people, all different places all across the world from throughout the years. I can't remember everyone. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he was just raging. He was basically saying that like my social media has got to my head and I think about it. I'm like, no, I literally do not like think that at all.
Christ.
I want to be friends with everyone.
My
but
dad
I just forget people.
my dad forgets people he works with names. He always says that to me. He's like, I'm wild with names. I just forget like people I've been working with for 30 years. I can't remember their names. Like, oh my goodness, it happens.
But to be fair, then I felt back. I remember a couple of months ago I went to my friend's birthday and one of her really close friends said to me, he was like, you know, I used to think you were a dick. And I was like, what, why? And he was like, we partied together one night in Ibiza a few years ago, and then I walked past you in the street one day and you sort of just said hello, but you didn't know it was me, and he thought that I again was like stuck up or whatever, but I just had forgot who he was.
Like, I don't think that's a trait of being stuck up, but I can see how people get like.
So this is why I want to make it clear, if I ever met you I asked you for your name again, I'm not being stuck up. I genuinely just don't remember. Like, it's really bad. And he then said that he seen me then in Revolution to Cuba, and the amount of people that kept coming up to me, he was like, oh my god, now I see why you didn't remember me. You see that many faces, it's hard to remember.
It's not the same, but something kind of similar happened to me at Shania Twain, and I just felt like, I don't know, this has never happened to me in person before. I know other people that do social media have like told me stories of it happening to them and being like, what do you do in that situation? Basically I was at the toilet and my mum was standing out in the crowd, and a girl, when I was coming out I could see my mum talking to this girl, and like I was looking at this girl and I was like, I kind of recognise her but I don't really know how, and blah blah blah, and she's like, there she is, there's the bitch there. And I was like, oh, but she was laughing. But I was like,
I thought you were getting started on.
No, I was like, what? And my mum was laughing too. But I was like, what's going on? She was like, I've been messaging you to promote my product, and like, you haven't replied, and like, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, what? I was like,
I don't like that.
what? So then I was like, wait, what have you messaged me on? She's like, I don't know. I don't really use social media. I don't know. I just sent you messages. And I was like, you need to kind of email me for like a proper, you know, discussion. I think it was about like CMOS or something, which I've never tried. But like, she was like, you need to message me. And I was like, and she was like, I don't know how to work emails. And I was like, look, my DMs, like, I've bots messaging me and loads of different, like, I don't know.
They're hectic in there,
and
like.
at this, then I was going, oh, I know that girl's face. And then it did click while I was talking to her. And I'm quite good with faces and stuff. She went to GB with me. Do you know what GB is? No. The Girls Brigade. It's like kind of like Sunday school. Like a Protestant
like Girl
thing.
Scouts.
Yeah, like Scouts.
Like you sell cookies around people's doors.
Yeah, but it's called the Girls Brigade. I went to this till I think I quit when I was 11. So that's how long ago I knew this girl from, and hadn't seen her from then. She was a lovely girl back then. I have no idea what she's like now.
Yeah.
But I was like, look, get one of your friends or something to like show you how to, and send me an email and we can like talk about it. But like, I haven't like intentionally ignored you or anything. But I was like, fuck, that was so awkward.
That's awkward.
Like, because I don't know, I don't want people thinking I'm intentionally ignoring them, but at the same time, like when that happens in person, you're like, what do I say? Like,
yeah, it's so awkward.
Do you know what I mean? I was just like I haven't done it intentionally.
My worst one ever was not the same as that, but it was forgetting someone that you knew from your past, because you forget people from when you were a teenager. Do you know what I mean? You do. Mm-hmm. And I'm sorry, my ADHD brain relates to stories every time. I always do this, then I clock on after I start doing it. Like, you were doing the same with, to be fair. What the fuck? Brains are crazy.
Yeah, it like brings up memories when you hear someone. We were saying this the other day though, me and my boyfriend. If someone asked me in the spot to tell a story about something, I can't remember. But then if someone tells a story, I'll be like, I have a story.
I am the same. Our podcast, I forgot all these stories you caught up, like Jesus. But yeah, a guy, I was working at Beef Rocks. This guy comes up chatting away, and I didn't recognize him at all. And then his friend came up, and I knew they were from home, and he's like, do you know this boy's name? And I was like, no, I don't know. I was like, oh, forget your name, bro. And he was fuming. We went to like formal and stuff together as in like a friend group, and like I knew him from growing up, and as soon as he said it, I was like, oh my god, what the fuck, didn't clock on. But he just didn't look the same either.
Yeah,
he genuinely didn't, and he was really like really raging, like unfollowed me and all. I was like, I'm sorry, I've met about 5 million people since I knew who you were. Like, I forget people's faces. Do you know what I mean?
Oh,
but
dear.
It is what it is. Right, shall we move on?
Yeah, that was a long catch up.
That was a long catch up.
Like nearly the whole podcast is the catch up. So we were just chatting there, and I said to Kegs, dilemmas this week. We'll keep what we got this week and do it next week.
Yeah,
because we put a story up there, so we'll get the dilemmas in. Keep it for next week. And this week's episode for What's the Crack With, we're already talking about it.
We literally
it's the end of Pride Week, and Belfast Pride's coming up at the end of the month, so we're just going to do a little Pride chat.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe telling like maybe like a wee bit of my struggles until becoming proud of my sexuality and proud of who I am. So what does pride mean to me for starters? What if I was to ask you this, what does pride mean to you as a straight woman? What would you say?
I would say, as a straight woman, I don't even think it would really make a difference as a straight or a gay person. I think it's like, because obviously for so many years, people being gay, lesbian, whatever, it was so difficult to show that who you were. So I think it's important, and you know, pride, obviously you've said this before, it's all year round for you, of course, like everyone should always be proud of who they are, but I actually think I like it that they have specific events in the calendar, like Pride Week and stuff, to give a bit of extra focus to them people that have went through struggles. So I know it's like, yeah, it's pride all year round, 100% be proud who you are, but I do love the fact that it's a special time to focus on people that are specifically part of that community.
Yeah, 100%.
Away from everyone else. Like, it's like, yes, be equal, but for this week, you're the main character. Yeah. Does that make sense?
I love it. And you know what as well? I was bouncing my pride, and my inner femininity that I always used to suppress came out in full force, and I was just being my authentic self, because I am masculine, but I also am feminine as well. And yeah, I love it. Like, it's so good for everyone to be able to just embrace who they are in the moment and have fun around everyone else is being themselves. Like, it's beautiful. But yeah, pride to me is just basically showing up as your authentic self and just being free to be who you actually truly are. And by you showing up as yourself, it gives everyone else the safe space to being able to be like, oh my god, he can be himself, I want to be myself
no
too.
Judgment.
And I was actually at the event, and I had a wee moment to myself where I just felt so much gratitude, because I thought back to younger Kegs who wasn't out, was from a small rural place, tried to fit in so much, and I remember the first guy I ever got with, I told him, I was like, I will never come out, I will never ever do it, and he was like, you're going to eventually. And looking back from, I've got goosebumps, looking back from then until now, I think that younger version of me would be like, oh my god, like, who is that? Like,
and
that,
you're
I cannot
so
believe
proud and
I'm living that life. Like, I feel like I'm so authentically myself, and I just show up, and I want to show everyone else that they can do that too. Like, they can show up as yourself, like,
regardless of the struggles and the battles. Like, it's worth it.
Like, I think definitely as a teenager I really did struggle. I hated myself so much, and I forced myself to fit in, to play football, to be one of the lads, blah blah blah. And then once I started like getting with boys and stuff, I still try to hide it so much. And I definitely, even when I did come out, I still sort of hated it for ages. There is something that did happen to me, and I want to mention this, but I'm not going to say what happened. It was quite traumatic, and it's probably one of the most traumatic things ever happened in my life. We can maybe speak about it in the future, but don't really want to speak about it right now. But it happened before I came out. There was another like guy involved basically, and it was very traumatic, and I basically, because I wasn't out, I couldn't speak about it to anyone. And I think that basically, after doing the work on myself in like Bali and Thailand and stuff, it came up that was like the start of my like depression.
Your struggles.
My struggles, and I really segregated myself from everyone.
It was the trigger.
It started it, and I thought that everyone hated me, and I couldn't speak about it to anyone because I was so afraid. I was afraid of this guy. I was afraid of everything that would happen. I was afraid to tell anyone because I wasn't out and all that there. So I just wanted to, like, if anyone's listening to this and you are afraid to maybe speak about something that's happened, or afraid to speak about your sexuality or anything, you don't have to tell your family. If you're not ready to come out, you don't have to tell your family. You don't have to tell your people around you. You just get someone to speak to about it. Like, looking back, I wish there was someone there to tell me to maybe get a therapist, or get someone to speak to about it. Even just say to your family, like, I wouldn't mind starting therapy,
or even the likes of, you know, community, the sense of community, because obviously, especially like so yourself, or like we're saying, other listeners, if you're from somewhere rural and you maybe don't know someone else in the same situation as you, it's probably worth trying to reach out into the community to find people that you can maybe open up to. Yeah, 100%. And that doesn't need to be like public either. Do you know what I mean?
Even myself, like,
social media.
I'm open for people maybe who may want like support,
a chat,
a wee small chat. I can't be your therapist,
because that can make a difference. Because sometimes therapy to a lot of people can seem like such a crazy big step, and like maybe just like a little conversation to kind of ease themselves into chatting about things can make such a difference.
And just know there's so many people out there like you. Like, I from where I was from, didn't really know any gay people. I had like maybe one or two people I knew, and I didn't really know anyone. But there is so many people out there. That's what I love about social media as well, because you can see that there's so much people being out there, being themselves as gay or trans or whatever you may be. There's so many people out there being themselves, so people do have people that they can see, that they can relate to now, which is great. But yeah, just speak to people if you are struggling, because I wish I did when I was younger. I'm getting a bit emotional. What the fuck? Oh my god. I just didn't want to get in. I was going to talk about it, and I was like, no, I'm just not. I don't want to speak about that on socials right now.
There's no point, and that's what we're saying. Like, you have to put your own personal boundaries in place when it comes to who you feel safe talking to.
Yeah,
and that's why we always do say about, you know, if you don't feel safe, talk a therapist or something, because that is a safe place, because they cannot obviously talk about that with anyone else. And then obviously if you are able to build relationships with friends or family, then you can become that you feel safe talking to them. But that takes work. That's not just 100%. Like you're going to meet someone and be like, I'm going to tell them everything and it's going to be great.
And it's so good having gay friends as well. I've only recently in the past number of years started to have gay friends, and now I have loads of gay friends, and it's so good to have gay friends to talk about like your gay experiences and to learn about the gay world and things like that, because there's so much stuff in the gay world that I didn't have a clue about at all. Like PrEP, for example, only in recent years I knew what PrEP was. So PrEP is basically a tablet that you take for protecting yourself when having sex, for not getting HIV. I didn't have a clue what that was.
Yeah, sure. I think you'd posted about it before or something, and I replied to Kegs and I was like, what is this? Like, I've never heard of this. And he explained to me what he's just said, and I was like, why? I'm 20, probably I was 28 at the time, 28 years old, and I have never ever heard of this. Like, never heard of it. And obviously I've went through education, and I've actually done programs specifically around sexual health, like whenever I was younger. Outside of school, I went to, it was called PEP, Personal Independence Program, I think it stood for. So I did a specific course on that, and there's very little mention of anything to do with being gay. Yeah. There is very little mention.
But you know what's funny as well? So there's a recent documentary out in BBC iPlayer called HIV, PrEP and Me. I think Dan Harry from I Kissed the Boy was the presenter of it, and it gives you all the information you need. But from his research, it's like a lot of gay people would know what PrEP is, but straight people wouldn't. And HIV is actually becoming common in like the straight world, because like girls are getting it because they don't have the awareness that you could take PrEP to prevent you from getting this. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's so much out there for help, and I didn't know something like that.
And the thing is too, in even like aside from even in the gay world, even sexual health is such a, obviously you done the work with your ex at the weekend, and that's amazing, because sexual health is such a like nearly shame thing for a lot of people,
and it's nothing to be shamed
even
about.
My friends and stuff, like I actually look now and go, thank God in a way that I'm in a relationship, because so many people are uneducated in sexual health that it's making the world quite dangerous. Yeah. Just like not like I'm better than you because I'm in a relationship way, but it's just like I look and go, holy moly, the amount of people that are not educated nowadays on sexual health and making sure you're like having safe sex and getting tested and whatever else needs to be done, PrEP, blah blah blah. So many people aren't educated in that, and it makes it quite a like scary world. Yeah.
But like even people, I know friends, and they have literally never had a test in their life. And like everyone, if you're having sex, and regardless if you're in a relationship or not, maybe it's different if you're in a relationship, but like still you should be getting regular testing like all the time. Like I've just ordered a wee kit online for free to come to my house to get tested now that I'm home from Pride weekend. Do you know what I mean?
I know a girl that was seeing a guy for like a long time. Like, this is not anyone even from here, so I can tell the story without worrying it's going to get back to anyone, but I know a girl that was in a relationship with a guy for like, I think it was 2 years. Yeah. And then they broke up, and like she didn't have sex with anyone else or anything. But obviously in girls you can have sexually transmitted diseases and have no symptoms. And she ended up getting tested for whatever reason. I don't know whether she got symptoms. I don't know. After her relationship ended, and she had, I think it was chlamydia.
Yeah, which is standard.
Which likely means that her boyfriend had gave her that at the start of the relationship, and being unaware, and she'd felt safe because she was in a relationship. So I would even always say, like, if you're entering a new relationship and yes, you trust this person, I think there's a lot of people think that if you go and get tested that you don't trust that person or something. No, it's not that. It's just you want to be safe entering a new relationship. Yeah. So yes, obviously if it's just you two having sex after that, fair enough. Yeah. You don't need to get tested. But if you're entering a new relationship, there should be no shame in like getting tested just to make sure you're both safe entering the relationship. And
And there shouldn't be really be shame about having an STI either, because like you could literally have sex once and have it. Do you know what I mean?
100%.
And like you can
100%.
get a majority of STIs you can get sorted by going to the doctor, getting like a wee injection or tablets or whatever. And like if it is something like as more severe as HIV, it's like completely like you can get you take tablets for life and it's fine.
Exactly. There's ways around everything, but yeah, there's such a shame around it, and there just should not be.
Yeah. So that's what I mean, growing up you don't really know loads of stuff about the gay world, which is maybe good to have gay friends or like older gay friends to give you a bit of advice on things. Like my friend Gareth, he gives me a lot of advice and I really appreciate him for that. But yeah, gonna do a bit of my coming out story.
Okay.
So came out to one of my ex-girlfriend actually when I was 17. I was getting with a friend of mine now, and I came out to her, and then I started getting like news about the place, blah blah blah, and that was when that situation thing happened, and then felt like I lost a lot of friends, blah blah blah, so I started really struggling. And then when I had my second boyfriend, came out to my family, and it didn't have a good reaction. From a rural place, I feel like our generation above us had like imprinted beliefs by society that like being gay is wrong, blah blah blah. And like my mum may have made comments when I was growing up that would have been like slightly homophobic, but she was just unaware, she wasn't educated in it, she didn't know, and those sort of would have stuck to me, which maybe didn't help either. So my coming out wasn't great, but like as time has went on, and as my family have seen me grow as a person and seen me become more authentically myself,
acceptive of it.
and then when I went traveling, basically is where I changed. I started being myself fully. I started meeting so many different types of people who were gay and freely themselves, and I was like, oh, I can do that. I can do this. I can dabble. And then I started becoming myself, and since I started becoming myself, that is when like all of the darkness that I felt throughout my life just started going off me, and I could start doing work on myself too. So when I started being myself, you could see how much more happier I was. You could see how much more I love my life. And I think that maybe my family probably did see that too.
100%, yeah.
And my mum has literally said to me, like, I have changed her mindset on like so many things in life. I've opened her mind so much, and she loves that I'm like myself. Do you know what I mean? My dad was always sweet about it, to be fair. Like, but yeah, I really like, from me being myself, it has really changed the minds of people that I love as well, which is great. So if you are like maybe scared to come out to your family, they're your blood.
But that is the thing. That's the thing. I think people's judgment always nearly comes from not understanding. That is so true, and like hate comes from not understanding as well. So you know, your family, as you say, have been raised and just being told like being gay's wrong and it's bad and it's this and that.
No gays being about.
So then that's what they believe. They don't see any different. It took them to see you and be like, but Kegs is gay and we love Kegs, and Kegs is great crack and he's a lovely person. So like,
and it's just love. Do you know what I mean? Like, why are you shaming
it's
love?
It's not wrong. Yeah, it
like,
takes people to see, to understand.
Yeah, why are you going to shame or be hateful for someone loving another person? And like, I was going to mention this as well, but I've seen maybe even younger ones to this day, which I was kind of shocked about, giving homophobic slurs to other younger kids who are like maybe teenagers and stuff. And I was like, when I started hearing about younger ones getting homophobic abuse in this day and age, I was like, lads, parents, if you're not raising your children to love people for being themselves, like seriously, like this is ridiculous. Get
it sorted.
Like, it's really not cool at all. Like, I just will not stand for people being like hateful for someone being themselves. Like, that person needs to be sorted. Helps basically. I think they need help. But yeah, I was gonna go into more than that. I was like, no, I'll just leave it at that. I'll leave it at that. But yeah, I feel like I could literally speak about sexuality and coming out and all that there for weeks and days.
That's what we were saying. We will maybe try and get a special guest on. A few ideas will go between us for maybe Belfast Pride, and we could do an episode and talk about we'll get someone from the LGBTQ plus community to maybe share their experience and stuff like that as well.
And like, if you are struggling in any way with your sexuality, I'm here. There's so many people out there as well, and there's so much people you can speak to and you can help
helplines
with.
And everything.
Yeah, like, you're not alone. You got this. We love you. We love you for the journey that you're on. And if you're struggling, there are better days coming. Like, I literally was in like really bad depression, and now I literally was thriving this weekend, being myself.
You look back at them times and go, what the fuck?
I know, but it's all part of my journey. It's built me into the person that I am today, and I'm so grateful for my journey.
Love you for it.
I feel like baby Kegs is proud of myself, so I love the journey that I've been on, and yeah, hopefully it continues to be brighter and brighter and brighter as time goes on. But thank you so much to our sponsor for this week.
Thank you.
And if you have any question or anything too, just send them in and we'll get answering the dilemmas next week as well.
Yeah, as we said, we'll keep a bit of time next week for a few extra dilemmas, and we'll do like a rollover of this week's and next week's and plop them all together. But with a lot of catching up to do. Also, I looked at, I was like, we haven't seen each other in 2 weeks. It was only last Monday. That's why it didn't seem like long.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, sure. We still have another episode to come out.
Oh, yeah, we do. I need to edit that. So we're delaying on the episodes at the minute, guys. But as you've seen, we are flat out.
And we
we're
have
non-stop.
Kegs has a meeting tomorrow with an editor. Bless his soul, we've made him wait because we've been so busy. We haven't been able to like sit with each other and agree that we're happy to take someone on. So it's happening. We're back. Yeah, we're coming for you.
June has been fucking hectic.
Yeah.
Like hectic. But anyways, if you haven't followed us yet, follow, subscribe, do your thing. We love you. Thank you so much for listening. And we'll see you next week.
We'll see you next week.
Love you.
Love you. Bye bye.